Hello, hello, and welcome everybody to our training today on going from overbooked and overwhelmed to spacious and six figures. My name is Laura Wick, and I see some new faces here today. So grateful to have you here joining me. And before we dive in, I just want to say that being here uh, is such a huge step in claiming spaciousness in your business. Because I see all the time people tell me, oh my goodness, I want more time, I want more freedom, I want more of this. And then when push comes to shove, actually showing up to it, actually putting in the effort to make it real, that's where people tend to get stuck. So just honoring, acknowledging, and celebrating that you are here. You are here with an open heart, an open mind. You are ready to learn, to receive. And my hope and intention today is that everybody here receives exactly what you need to take a next step. So, on behalf of my team and I, welcome. We are so grateful to have you here. And the thing that I want to kick off with is recognizing that for folks who are joining us today, you are all heart-centered, holistic-based professionals, whether you're a massage therapist like me, or maybe Reiki, yoga, we have a feng shui expert in our community. Um, we have a lot of MFR, craniosacral folks, whatever it is that you do, you are here because you genuinely want to make a difference in the world. And the thing is, we have to start recognizing that the way you have been taught to structure your business, to deliver your services, it was never designed for you or your expansion. It was never designed to support your life, right? So, for so many holistic based professionals who do this work because they want to help, because they want to make a difference, and they wonder why they burn out, it's because you've been playing by a set of rules that were never, ever designed for your expansion. So, again, my intention today is let's break these rules together and explore a new way of being and operating inside of your business. So if you are ready for that today, let's drop a one in the chat box. Let's give a like, yes, I'm ready. Let's get that energy going because I don't know about you, but it's time, right? Because you didn't get into this work just to burn out. I know for me, when I first started practicing massage, and I hit that burnout time and time again, I always felt like I was fighting myself, right? I felt this like I'm here to help people and I want to give. But then that came at odds with living my life. And it felt like I needed to make space for people and be available. But then I felt guilty if I wasn't affordable, if I didn't have enough time available, if I went on vacation, right? It's an endless cycle that so many practitioners get stuck in. And the burnout is real, especially when in today's day and age, people are showing up on your table, on the yoga mat, in your class, in your sessions, because they are stressed out. They are exhausted. And the work that we deliver is so much more than just the hands-on modalities that we've been taught to sell. Okay, so this training today is really about creating a pivot point in your life and in your business to break this cycle once and for all. So you are in the right place if you are book solid but still exhausted, right? You are in the right place if you keep adding modalities, right? How many of you have that long list on your website of all the modalities, of all the possible sessions people can book, of, this certification, this degree, this advanced whatever, right? And yet you still feel capped, right? How many of you feel that way? I know I have done that. How many of you are simply craving more impact, more freedom, more life for you? but you continue to get stuck in, but how does this look for me? Right? I remember for the longest time, I'm like, how am I supposed to have freedom in my life if the only way I can make money is directly tied to being in a dark room with my hands on somebody else's back? Again, like the struggle is real, and it's time for this to shift. So today, our agenda is very simple. We're coming in here. I know your time is valuable, so we are going to stay focused and really uncover what is the challenge that's actually happening here, right? Because the fact that you're feeling trapped, that you're stuck, that you're here, like, help me see what I can't see, it's because, again, there's something that is odds within the way you were taught to work. Okay, so we want to uncover what that is. I'm going to walk you through a three-step map. And this is a very tactical, practical, let's get into the actual structural things to help you make a difference in your business to actually open up the spaciousness, the freedom, the impact, and the income that you crave. And then I do have a special invitation for those of you who are joining me today. This is actually the first time I've ever done this, so you guys are first to hear it. So I'm excited to share that with you. You're all going to love it because I know when I show up on these trainings, where it's like I get a bunch of information and then I often leave with this question of, but what does this actually look like for me? How am I actually supposed to integrate this? Here's my circumstances. What am I supposed to do and how do I actually put this into action for me? Okay, so we want to hold that and help you really take what you're learning here today because information without action, it's nothing, right? It's not going to go anywhere. For so many of you, you probably have a head full of information. You know what you need to do, but it's not happening. So we really want to activate and get you in motion to claim the freedom in your life, in your business now. Okay? So if we haven't met before, hello, my name is Laura Wick, pronounced Wick, right? I like to say I shine bright like a candle wick, but I've never actually said that. Ah, honestly, what I say, people mispronounce my name and say Laura Week, and my true response is I'm not weak, I'm a wick. But you never know what you're going to get on these live trainings. Anywho, so I am the creator and founder of Body Mind Coaching, an ICF accredited NCBTMB approved coach training for holistic based professionals. I'm also the author of the Body Mind Method, but more important that I always like to bring forward is I started off as a massage therapist in 2003, and I have done the burnout dance time and time again, right? Got into this work, it kind of found me, and I often love how the reason we get into this work, it's often a calling, right? It's so much more than just like you pick the career out of a handbook at a college fair, like this work is a calling. And so it found me at a very pivotal point in my own life. And my degree's in biology, and I just felt like when I came into massage therapy, I was able to help people. Um, I was able to use my anatomy and physiology background and was really able to just be present with people in a really sacred space. And so when I started working, I worked for this beautiful spa in Charleston, South Carolina, and my goal was to be a booked solid practitioner. I busted my ass, right? I saw sometimes 8 clients a day. But then at the end of the day, all I wanted to do was rip my arms off, right? Time and time again, I was just exhausted. I was burnt out. And so in 2008, I made the choice to get married, move, and start my business. And during the time of, 2008, so there was a lot going on. And I followed those rules again, right? I took the massage business courses that told me to discount services, offer like 100 free services, you know, give and give and give. And yes, I booked myself solid again and I burnt out again. Okay. And I just kept following these rules, right? Like success was this book solid schedule. And then not only that, but you're supposed to like listen to your clients and talk to them and provide, education and tools and resources. And so my clients would spend 20, 30 extra minutes talking. I saw the body mind connection. I knew that what was happening in their body was a reflection of what was going on in their life, right? In 2008, I also took my first coach training with this intention of integrating coaching and body work together because there was this beautiful parallel. But even when I did that first coach training, I followed the rules, right? I followed those rules and I, whoops, pressed the button too soon. I followed those rules. And I treated coaching like another modality, another add-on on my schedule that, hey, do you want to add on, some coaching for your session today? Nobody said yes, but everybody stayed. Can I get an amen if anybody knows what I'm talking about? Right? I treated it like another modality. And it never got me anywhere. So here I am going above and beyond, following these rules. I'm burning out. I'm like, ready to kick my husband's ass, right? And all of this stuff was happening. And the turning point for me was kind of a couple things that happened concurrently. But I took a business training about 2012, and I took it solely so I could learn how to build a website. That was it. And when I got into this program, I was surrounded by a bunch of other coaches and entrepreneurs and leaders. And what I realized is that I had been viewing my business through the lens of a practitioner for so long. And I was treating myself like a practitioner for so long. And it wasn't just impacting me, it was also impacting my clients and what was possible for them. And during this time, my husband and I were also going through some fertility challenges. And my natural MO, right? You guys tell me if this relates. If something ever happened in my life, right? Like I remember when I worked at the spot in Charleston, there was this cute little yoga store next door, and they had these like really expensive yoga pants that had a little lotus flower on their butt. And I was like, I'm gonna get me a pair, but I need to do like 3 or 4 extra massages to afford it. Or the time when I got a flat tire. I'm like, well, got a flat tire. I probably need to do like 5, 6 extra massages, pay for that. Oh, we want to move. Okay, well, I need to do this many massages to cover that, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Well, in this time of the fertility challenges, my husband and I met with a doctor who told me, Laura, we had to do the highest, most expensive form of IVF. And not only that, it was a $15,000 deposit with no freaking guarantees, plus medication. Fun story, we ended up doing 4 rounds of it. Okay. And in this, he said, and by the way, Laura, you might want to consider cutting your working hours down. So the normal option for me to do that time for money math was no longer an option. And what I realized in this moment was that I was still approaching this as that practitioner mindset, and I saw these coaches doing something different. And this doctor says this thing. I go to a yoga class to clear my brain, and I'm here in this like, warrior two pose. And the yoga teacher tells, every yoga teacher says this, like you're in the pose, and they're like, take up your space, right? So I like lengthen my arms. I like go down in my legs. I'm like taking up space on my mat. And I heard this voice in my head say, Laura, take up your space. Because up until this point, I was a massage therapist who did this thing called coaching. In that moment, I went home, I sent an email to all of my clients, and I said, I am a coach. And it is because of my background and my ability to connect with your body that I'm not just a coach, I am a leader. I am, hold on, let me gather my words. I am not just a coach. I am an advanced coach that can help you live a life that is deeply aligned. And I shifted, and what I'm going to walk you through today are the 3 steps that I did to shift out of that time for money trap and into a 7+ figure business that is now reaching people around the world with the Body Mind Method. Okay? So my hope again today, let this be the moment that you decide to take up your space, because every single one of you here, you're already going above and beyond, right? You're already coaching in some capacity, whether it's formal or not. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Let's actually get you paid for it, because it's not only going to help you, it's actually going to help your clients more. Which brings me to the challenge. Okay, this is what I like to call the practitioner plateau. Because, if you got into business to help others, if you got into this line of work, let's be honest that there's generally 3 main objectives of why you do what you do. You want to help people. You want to serve. You want to make a difference, right? This is so much a part of who you are and why you show up to every session with integrity, right? With a desire to make a difference. Let's also be honest. You want to make money, okay? We live in a world that making money is a practical part of what we do. And while I could sit here and probably do a 10-hour masterclass on money mindset, I just want to say we are here to embrace that making money is of service to those around us. Okay? I'm not here to convince you or try and tell you like if you're not in it for the money, right? This might not be the training for you. Because the truth is, you are here to live a fulfilling life that serves others. And in the world we live in, a practical way we do that is by receiving money. Okay? The third thing is that you're here, you do this work to live your life, right? How many of us started a business so we could have more time with our kids? How many of us started a business so we could travel more, so that we could spend time in nature, so that we could have our day flow and match our energy and our alignment, right? These 3 things are generally, at the core of why you started a business and why you do what you do. But the thing is, and where the plateau comes in, is that when you trade time for money in your business, you are automatically putting these 3 things at odds with each other. Because to serve people, you have to be available, which is going to pull on the time, right? And pull on your spaciousness. If you want to serve people, how many have heard the story in our industry that you have to be affordable? Right? Which now this is pulling on your money, and then you have to be more available. Or let's say you go and you run and you take another business class, right, to make more money and do this thing. Now you're spending more time, so it's sucking away out of your time. But then you're like, oh, I feel a little guilty if I charge more. There's other people in the industry, right, that are doing this. So now you're starting to feel guilty, and there's all these things that are happening, right? But time for money automatically puts making money, your time, against helping people. And it will create this plateau, this invisible ceiling in your business that keeps you and it keeps your clients stuck. The other thing that I see is that it's like we get to this place where we're ready to grow. How many of you have gone and taken tons of modalities and you, again, learning all of the expertise and being a good practitioner, right? So you grow this and you're growing the serving clients, right? But now it's like, oh my goodness, they still just want the normal massage. They don't want to pay extra for the thing. Or now, my goodness, I'm like booked solid and exhausted and oh, right? Like, so we're doing that. So we run and chase modalities. How many of you have taken the like, teach me the latest trend of how to create reels and content and like the business thing, right? Which now that's pulling on your time, right? And making like you're going down, hoping that fixes it. But then again, people just want the same old service that they're used to, right? Or then we go chasing the self-help books and yada, 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 right? Because we think that this is a me problem that I have to fix me in order to make money and in order to serve clients, right? So even in the solutions, we're constantly pitting these things against each other, right? And it's part of what is keeping you stuck. Can I get a yes if this resonates?
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, Eva. Yes, amen, right? So this is what I call the time for money trap, the time for money trap, right? And again, it's just like I don't even remember going into massage school where they taught like where business was talking about different approaches and ways that you structure your services. It was just automatically assumed that you trade time for money when you get into this profession. Okay? So the way out is that we have to start imagining a new approach to how you work. This is about shifting how you be in your business. This is about shifting how you receive in your business. This is about shifting how you structure and how you put your services together, right? This is about going from your client saying, I pay you for your time to I invest in my transformation. And the best part about this is what I'm going to show you today. These 3 steps are about aligning service, structure, and income with the results you're already delivering. What I'm going to show you today, you're already doing. And literally, it is so close to you that you can't see it. Okay? You're all walking around here like, oh my God, let me go find something out here. Let me go find this solution over here. Let me go have, da, 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 right? And it's literally right in front of you. My team member here is here today, Melissa, and she and I, we love to get on calls with people because we help you see, name, and claim what is right in front of you. And for everybody sitting here today, it is often worth tens of thousands of dollars, and it is right in front of you now. Okay? So, the 3 steps that we're going to get into for today is number 1, we're going to claim your value. Number 2, we're going to claim the transformation. And number 3, we're going to claim your lifestyle. Okay? They are written out in a 1, 2, 3 order because I know that's how your brain works. These are really meant to work with each other. Okay? So we'll see how this all comes together. So the first thing is claim your value. Okay? How many of you are selling your 60-minute massage, your 90-minute yoga flow, your 30-minute Reiki sessions, whatever it is, and yet still going above and beyond for your clients by A, spending extra time with your clients, B, providing insights, advice, intuitive guidance, C, sharing resources, tools between, after, whatever for your clients, or D, all of the above. Which one of these do you most resonate with? Right, put that in the chat box. Because I have done all of these. All right. And when I started doing this and when I had this realization, blew open a whole new way of being in my business. So this is what I call the advice loop. And I actually want to say that not only are you missing out on this and your clients are missing out, it's actually not helping people the way that you think it is. Lovingly, right? What happens is that when you provide this extra time, energy, insights, and resources, right, it makes your ego feel good. Look at me, I'm a great practitioner, right? It makes their head feel full, right? They're sitting there like, oh, I have the answers. I know what to do. Cool. But it does not actually empower them to follow through, which is why they come back in with the same story, the same complaint, the same bullshit, right? That is making you feel like you're just repeating yourself in every single session. And so here you are, you're exhausted because you're going above and beyond, probably not feeling recognized or, like they're getting it, right? So that can be frustrating for you and make you feel bitter or resentful. But the thing we have to remember is that the clients now know what they need to be doing and they're not doing it. And that actually activates a shame cycle. Because for most people, they don't need to know what to do, right? How many of us know what we should be doing? Okay, most of us know. Clients, right? We know we need to drink more water. We know we need to eat healthier. We know we need to be meditating more. We know we should be walking in nature. We know that we should be stretching more. We know we should listen to our body. Most people don't know how. We know this shit, okay? But that's not the problem. The problem is that people haven't actually made the choice to receive it. And so your clients can't fully receive the value of what you offer if you are not claiming your time and expertise. So this is a big place where the hidden income is right now in your business. I'm going to share with you an example. This was from my business. This is what helped me have my first 10K month, and actually my first six-figure year. So if we were to look at the time you're already spending and multiply that by your currently rates, that gives us an estimate of the current hidden value inside what you're already doing. Okay. So example for me, I was seeing in my own business about 20 clients a week. I was spending, no lie, 30 minutes extra per client. All right. I had some that were more. You know who I'm talking about. So, and at the time, right, you know that client. You guys know that client. So at the time, I was charging $85 an hour. And if I were to multiply, right, 30 minutes times 20 clients, that is 10 hours a week of unclaimed time and expertise. And fun fact, I had already done my first coach training at this point. Okay. So that is 10 hours a week times $85 an hour. That is $850 a week. That is over $42,000 in a year that I was not claiming. And even if you're reading this, like sometimes people are working for other folks and other businesses. Even if you're spending like 5, 10 minutes per client, that adds up. So let's say, maybe it's 100 for sake of easy math. $100 an hour is what you charge. And on average, it's like 2 hours extra a week. That's $200 a week. That is over $10,000 in a year. Would that make a difference for you?
Hmm.
Eva, I adore you. Uh, so, oh my gosh, why is my thing doing this thing? I don't want to annotate. Do you see that? Anyway, okay. Um, Melissa, if you know how to clear that up, let me know. Anywho, the thing that I want you to also consider is that your clients are missing out when they don't fully receive for this either. Because that advice that they hear but they don't take action on, it's impacting their marriage, it's impacting their health, it's impacting their job. It's impacting, just so many different areas of their life as well. So that money isn't just about you, it's actually about them as well. So what you're doing has a name. It's called coaching. And as I already shared, shifting from a modality-based business to a coaching-based business actually opens the door for freedom. Because as a coach, I am not tied to my table to make money or make a difference. And I also want to say that this step that I outlined here is one that a lot of people want to skip. Okay, this is kind of the unsexy side of it. This is actually right in front of you. It's easier for somebody to go online and sell you, create your next online course where you're going to spin in circles and spend years trying to make it right and never actually sell it, than it is to say, why don't you just get paid for what you're doing? But for so many of our clients, this one little shift opens up the ability to actually cut your hands-on hours in half and make more money, right? Mark recently told me that he's making on average $1,000 to $2,000 more a month, and he hasn't changed a damn thing besides actually owning for all of his time, right? Heather, right? And what we do in Body Mind is we actually teach you a coaching process so that you can fully claim all of this, right? And take your clients on this amazing journey inside of your sessions. And Heather has told me time and time again that she is blown away how powerful her sessions are simply by claiming coaching as part of her work. All right. So this step is powerful and can unlock tens of thousands of dollars in your business. The second step here is we want to claim the transformation. Okay. Because clients want results, not minutes, right? And when we sell time for money, you're selling it under the belief of I pay you to fix me. That is the unspoken contract that clients are coming in on, even though you tell them every single session that you're not here to fix them. I get that, but that's not what their subconscious says. Okay? Right? So when you sell 30, 60, 90 minutes, right, you're not actually holding space for clients to take action and move towards their goals, which is why you loop in circles. So instead, we're going to move into what we call a container of support. And what makes a container of support so powerful is there's 5 keys to a container of support. One is the choice. Another word for this is sales, which is why we teach sales as part of the Body Mind Method. And it doesn't even feel like sales. It's amazing, right? So it's the choice. It's holding the client in a state of choice of how they want to show up to their life. And when somebody says yes, we now have a start date, right? A beginning where you can actually partner with them to map out goals that they want to work towards. We have an end date, which creates a natural form of accountability. Instead of continuing to put off what they know they need to be doing, we now have we're holding, literally holding space inside of that transformational container. We have the support, which is now your sessions, and instead of becoming the place where you have to do it all and solve all their problems in 60 minutes, now the sessions are a touch point for learning and growth and accountability, right? And then we have the space between where the client implements. Of these 5 things, only one of them is what you're doing now. And this isn't about, again, it's not about doing more, it's about holding the container. Now, oh, hold on. Oh, it didn't show up. I have a little, whoa, Laura got off cue. Laura went somewhere. I had a little image of my container of support, but it doesn't want to show up right now. So we're going to let that go. Oh, here it is. We found it. So just to give you, just to give you a visual of this, right? Right now, most of you are doing, if the X is your current 60-minute services, this is what you're doing. This is a 60-minute service, right? You're already, the parentheses is what you're doing, but you're not charging for. Okay, so we help you really design the structure and the service to hold that space for someone there. But when we look at a container, we have this choice, this moment of activation. We have a beginning where they create goals, right? We have that end that holds them in accountability and empowers them to take action. We now are claiming all of the time that you're doing, and you're actually claiming the learning and integration that happens between the sessions. So it actually supports your clients in going further faster. And just to give you an example, or maybe some options, right? The container of support is how you hold space for transformation. So you have a choice, right? Option one, you can keep doing single sessions, $85 an hour with no accountability, growth, or support. Both of you frustrated. Or you can offer and invite people into a container of support. And my first container of support was $1,500 for 3 months. Okay. And this is actually going to help the person move further faster. The way they show up also changes, right? So even, at $85 an hour, let's say they came in every week for 12 weeks, which actually we don't recommend that much, but even if they came in every week at $85 an hour, I think that's around like it's $1,020. I'm actually getting paid more over here. And our recommendation is every other week for a session. So it's less work, more money, but the client shows up differently. So, what do clients get to receive when they decide to show up fully for themselves? Okay. Now, here's what's interesting. When you claim the container, what you actually discover is that you have a process, that you're accounting for all your time, energy, and expertise, right? Can I get an amen in the comments if this is like yes? You're going to start to see that you give the same advice over and over, that you share the same resource over and over, that you're saying this like the same thing, that you're doing the same meditation. And what happens is you're actually getting paid to uncover your process. This is how I discovered the body mind method. I said the same thing over and over and over again to clients. I saw the challenges they faced over and over and over again. And I was able to take those themes and organize it into something that I could utilize in different ways in my business, right? And not to mention, my clients are showing up to themselves like never before. Okay. I was recently chatting with Robin. She's amazing. And she said, with Laura in my corner, I've signed up multiple clients into 5K 4 months, 4 months at 5K coaching programs, activated new opportunities in my local community, and aligned my business to support the way I want to live and lead. Okay. This is powerful for both of you, and it's right in front of you. So, step three is we want to then claim the lifestyle. Okay, so now you recognize that you have a process. So, what we want to do is we actually want to build in layers that support your life and not the other way around. So, the question I want you to sit with, and this is a question that Melissa and I are going to talk deeper in when we connect with you, is what does living aligned mean for you? Right? And full disclosure, this has changed for me. I went through a season where I did a lot of travel and, like all sorts of stuff and lots of adventure. And then I had my son. And then my son, we had my son is autistic, so my priorities and my alignment shifted, but I was able to structure my business to match what I needed in my life. Right. And I want to give a little caveat to what I'm about to share because I'm about to put a bunch of numbers on the screen and everybody is going to we're going to feel what we feel. We're going to notice what we notice. And we're going to see the opportunity that's right in front of you. But I want to say before I share this that when you have spent your entire life and career putting others first, this step is going to trigger your nervous system. Because actually choosing to prioritize what is best for you is a massive change in your life. Okay. So, what I love to do when I think about this and the way that I work with my clients is I call this layering your success, where we're going to spend this time and really get clear on what does an aligned life look like for you. And then from there, we can start to structure your services to match it. Okay, so we recommend always starting with one-on-one coaching containers. Okay, I just shared with you Robin, she's selling hers at $5,000 each. Right, so let's say you have a $5,000, I'm going to say 6 months for the sake of this example, coaching program. And you invite 10 clients into that at $5,000. That's $50,000 from 10 clients. Okay, I said 6 months. So you do that 2 times a year. Okay. I used to see 100 clients a month. That was 100 clients I had to rebook, 100 clients that I had to remind, 100 clients that always asked me every time I raised my prices, why are you doing it again? 100 clients that like bitched and moaned and asked for the discounts, right? Versus 10, 20 for the year. Okay. And you're already hitting six figures. A dear friend of mine and fellow coach, sure, her business is she only does one-on-one. She works with, I think, like 8 to 10 people at a time. In her one-on-one coaching containers, they're $24,000 for the year, 12,000 for 6 months. That's it. No social media, nothing crazy. She honors her values. She is active in her community. Very simple. Okay. And I also want to say this is not the training for it, but I do want to say that embodiment and what we teach, especially in body mind, is an advanced form of coaching. And so it's just a really powerful experience. And then let's say, after you do a couple of one-on-ones, maybe you want to do group coaching where you have the process. Now you have like all the resources organized and you take a group through. Same impact, same information, same transformation, but now instead of doing separate people, you're doing it as one. So you take 10 people through a group coaching program, still $5,000, right? You do it twice a year. Now you have another 100,000. Okay. Then maybe you want to take people through this transformation and an immersive experience and host a retreat. Okay. So you invite 10 clients on the retreat for $5,000 a client. You do this twice a year. That's another $100,000 right there. Okay. And I'm going to say this now. Then you go and create your online course. Okay. Okay. Because that online course takes much more effort than all of these combined. Okay. So this is actually how we start to create freedom for you in your business, right? Because living your work is the way, right? You're not just a practitioner, you're an embodied coach, an embodied entrepreneur, and an embodied leader. And the time for money structure was never meant to support you, it was always designed to trap you, right? Because I find it so fascinating that my soul chose this moment with these gifts, with this passion, with this fire to show up in the world today. Because this is the healing that all of us are craving. And if we're going to step up and fully embrace and embody the change we want to see in the world, we have got to start showing up to how we work differently because the way we were taught to work was designed to trap us. Okay. And just to give you an example of this, Shayna, she's one of our amazing clients. Being a body mind coach helped her connect to her alignment so that she could find her passion again, combined all her gifts, and grow a coaching business that not only she loves, but it allowed her to double her income and leave her full-time job. She is hosting a retreat. She has a group program. She has one-on-one. She is layering the success in a way that matches her life and her lifestyle now. Okay. So just to recap, right? These three simple things, you're already giving away this time, this value, this expertise now. You're all like, you have a process in there. And when you start to actually hold space for the transformation, it supports both you and your clients. And when you structure it in a way that allows you to live the life you are here to lead, it creates a ripple effect around the world. Okay. How many of you are like, hot damn, Laura, I see this, I get this, right? Because this is the moment where you have a choice. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can do the hustle and grind. I hate the hustle and grind. I am not here for that. You can wait for your circumstances to change. You can wait for the world to change. Or you can claim right now your spacious six-figure impact. You can claim and decide that you are here on this earth right now to make a wave of change, and it starts with you and in you. And when you live the work you are here to lead, that is actually how we make a difference together. And so I want to invite you to even just tune into your heart. Because sometimes that calling is a whisper. Sometimes that knowing It's just a quiet, it's just a stillness. I'm a big believer that you get to decide how you show up. And that's what creates the change we all need. And so, for those of you who are hearing the yes, who are hearing, okay, it's time, I am claiming my step forward, right? My team and I, like I shared, have something special for you. We have an invitation to join us on what we're calling a Freedom Business Road Mapping session. And this is really about taking what we've talked about here today and helping see what exactly this looks like for you, right? Where is it that you're giving away time and expertise for free? What is it about your process that maybe you're not seeing that we can help you own and start to create those containers of support? Or maybe what does it look like to layer your success and align your business to support you and not the other way around? Okay. These calls, we will uncover thousands of dollars of income hiding in plain sight. We do this all day long. We love these calls. They are powerful. Okay. This is about going from overbooked and overwhelmed to spacious and six figures now. Not when the time is right, not when you have it figured out, not when you've like checked all the boxes. This is about claiming it now. And really, we want to help you find the time, money, and energy freedom that is right in front of you. Okay. This is also about helping see who is around you now that actually wants that next step that you're here to offer. For many of you, there is a person, there are people who are waiting for you to claim this so that they can claim it and work with you. Okay. And I want to make a little caveat here that this is for skilled, committed, and ready practitioners. Okay. If you're new into this work and you're still building your confidence in the actual skill set of what you deliver, this probably is not going to be a right fit for you. However, if you've been doing this for years, if you know you're amazing, if you're so much more than average and sick of trying to fit into a system that has never actually supported you, please, 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 please claim this, schedule your call. We cannot wait to help like unleash your expansion because it is so much closer than you realize. It is literally hiding right here, right? And so we want to start to reflect that brilliance back to you and help you see practically and tactically how you can integrate and implement for you and your business. These are normally $297. We are doing them as a special today for those of you who have joined our call. We're doing this today for only $97. So we have a very simple form here at thenewbodymind.com/freedom where you can go fill out the form, claim that. It'll take you to our direct booking site, and we can get started and claim this today because you did not come this far to burn out. And this next step of choosing your freedom, it's not about doing more. It's not about running in circles. It's not trying to figure out a whole new, it is literally about claiming what is already right in front of you. So I want to thank you all for joining me today, for being here on this training and sharing your energy and your brilliance with me. And now is the time. Your soul chose this moment, this time to be here. And let's work together. Let us help you claim and create the freedom in your business now. So go ahead and go to thenewbodymind.com/freedom, grab your spot, and we will talk to you